UW360 is proudly supported by BECU, a not-for-profit member-owned credit union. Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW360 here at the Husky Hall of Fame. In this episode, we'll meet some young entrepreneurs with some big ideas, find out why some students are researching our garbage, and see a place where the wind blows up to 200 miles per hour indoors. We'll also follow the UW men's basketball team on an eye-opening trip to Senegal and meet Husky mascot Doves right here on campus. But first, young cyber detectives compete to protect a network under attack.
Pull out the known unneeded services.
It's going to slow it down so bad.
Under a shroud of urgency, a team of graduate students is preparing to defend a data network that will soon be under attack.
Give me a default gateway, please, Brian.
The students are practicing for the Pacific Rim Regional Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition. During the competition between 11 different colleges, UW students will be testing their ability to protect enterprise networks and information systems. It's a proving ground of sorts for soon-to-be cybersecurity professionals graduating from the University of Washington.
We've set up a system of completely insecure virtual machines, and we're patching, fixing, taking unneeded users out, turning off unnecessary services to prepare to be attacked.
The purpose of this exercise is to expose young minds to the types of real-life emergency situations they'll face when they walk out these doors.
You learn through practice.
Just about every week there's a couple of stories about cyber intrusion.
The competition is organized by Barbara Endicott-Popovsky, director of the Center for Information Assurance and Cybersecurity at the University of Washington Information School.
Nation states are very actively involved in stealing one another's intellectual property and nation's secrets. So the smart criminals have certainly discovered that the crime online is very difficult to trace.
Nothing should be happening on that computer.
Smart criminals can only be stopped by smart detectives. In this case, cyber detectives. That's why the iSchool has created the Center for Information Assurance and Cybersecurity. It's recognized as one of the top cybersecurity centers in the country.
We are very unusual compared to other centers of excellence. Most of those have come out of a technology perspective. At the Information School, people are active participants from computer science, from EE, from information science, from law, from economics, from urban planning, and we collaborate on projects.
I think the world has changed. Everything is connected. So when we think about our water infrastructure and we think about telecommunications, they're all connected, and the connecting component is technology, is computer technology. And so cybersecurity is really a concept of securing and making safer, because you cannot completely make safe, but making safer the systems that we rely on for our food delivery systems, electrical systems, water, all of the infrastructures that we depend on for our economic and social well-being.
Making systems safer. It's a daunting task. But soon, these students will be out in the real world doing just that.
The government themselves have come out in the last couple of years and they've talked about a need for tens of thousands of people in government positions that can help inject a perspective on cybersecurity in their various roles. We can't find these people. We're providing for a national need. We're providing for local and regional needs. We're doing something for the country. I just think it's a win-win all the way around.
Wow. The UW team won the National Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition in both 2011 and 2012. Okay, now for a very different kind of detective work. Some UW students are investigating just how well we follow the rules for composting by investigating our garbage.
This is the trash bin, so ideally what we see in here is no compostable and no recyclable materials, which of course is not the case. So here we have a compostable cup, compostable stuff inside of it, compostable paper, tea bag. Garbology in itself is a subdiscipline of archaeology that looks at modern trash. Most archaeologists look at pre-modern trash, but people often forget that we also study modern trash.
Led by grad student Jack Johnson, one of the UW Garbology Project's current missions is comparing what is getting thrown away into the new solar-powered waste kiosks around the hub in Red Square to the other waste collection bins. The garbologists are finding out about 2/3 of the campus's outdoor waste is being thrown away correctly, but they're working on a plan to help improve that rate.
We could divert as much as 95% of our outdoor waste if we were to compost and recycle with 100% efficiency. We're also finding that about 71% of all the waste stream that gets deposited in outdoor trash cans is in fact compost. So the single best thing we can do to divert more waste is to compost more.
Amy Mandan is one of the student volunteers that make up most of the tiny team sorting and studying trash in this first-time collaboration between the university's facilities services and anthropology departments.
It's really nice when packaging has something that says, compost me or recycle me.
Amy and nearly everyone involved in the UW Garbology project agrees. Throwing things away on campus is confusing.
Hi, and welcome to my presentation on garbology.
This is from a video she made after lunch one day.
Well, as you can see, it's normally quite a difficult task.
The UW Garbology team has now analyzed some summer quarter waste.
In the summer, in the heat, and you open up a bag of that steamy compost and it's like really gross.
And loads of frigid fall quarter cast-offs. And their field studies have one undeniable finding. Coffee and its containers are one of the biggest sources of confusion and mistossed trash.
This is where it gets really complicated. You only have to remove the lid on the tiny small ones, on the 8 ounce, because those lids are not compostable. But those lids are recyclable. But on this size, the 12 ounce or the 16 ounce, the lids are compostable.
Emily Newcomer, the UW's recycling and solid waste manager, says nearly everything sold by campus food vendors, including containers, lids, and straws, is either recyclable or compostable, so very little food waste is true trash. As for how to handle that trash in the years to come, she likes the new kiosk's solar-powered trash compactors because they hold so much. Another futuristic feature? When a can is full, the light turns red and it sends an electronic signal to the UW Solid Waste office, saving the staff from having to circulate and check by hand.
Our hope is that this will be the future of outdoor waste collection on campus.
Something else you should think about for the future. Someone might be watching you throw out your lunch.
People might lie to you about what they actually do in their lives, but their trash doesn't lie. It's 100% real story of how we live our lives, for the good, for the bad.
For more information on these and other stories, you'll find a link on our website, uwtv.org/UW360. Stay with us. We'll be right back with everyone's favorite Husky as UW360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. Well, what better place to introduce our most famous Husky than here at the Hall of Fame at Heck Edmondson Pavilion. We would like you to meet Dubs, the University of Washington's official mascot, and his handler, Brad. Thanks for joining us, Brad.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit about Dubs and how you became one of his handlers.
Dubs is currently 4 years old. He just turned 4 last month. He's from a litter here in Washington State, and he was selected by the athletic department. When they first selected him, they were choosing a name for him. They had a vote amongst the students. I think it was an online poll. It was between Sun Dodger, Spirit, and Dubs won out, and so that became his name. And I became a handler my sophomore year, about 2 years ago.
So how does Dubs like being top dog on campus? What are some of his official duties?
Well, Other than obviously like the football games, we have basketball games we go to. And mostly if the athletic department, if a sports team requests him, we'll show up. But we'll go to a lot of presidents' engagements, alumni events, departmental events, and just a lot of different community activities.
All right, I know he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. So Brad, tell us some of Dubs' favorite tricks, because I know he's got a few up his sleeves, including being very chatty.
Dubs, would you take a treat from a cougar? No. Would you take a treat from a duck? No. Would you take a treat from a husky? Yeah, of course. Would you rather be a cougar or a dead dog, Dubs? There, good boy, Dubs.
Good job, Dubs. Okay, how about one more trick before we go? Can I get a high five? Oh, good boy. Thanks, Dubs. Well, as you can see, this is one smart top dog. And if you'd like to follow Dubs, he has his own blog, and you can find the link on our website. Check out all his daily activities there. Thanks again, Dubs. Okay, we're shifting back now to a story about some human huskies and the UW men's basketball team. We're off to Africa for a visit to Center Aziz Njai's hometown.
There you go. Start smiling, going back to Senegal. Whew.
Call it a reward for winning the Pac-12 championship. Call it team bonding or simply a goodwill exhibition tour. 2012 will forever be a month to remember for Lorenzo Romar's Husky men's basketball team.
Going back, it was exciting and like nervous and emotional at the same time, because I know like it's been a while I haven't seen my family.
And for this giant senior from Senegal, call it a homecoming.
Man, I've never seen you so happy, bro.
Never seen me so happy?
No.
Happy because this overseas adventure ends in Dakar, Senegal, hometown of Center Aziz Njai.
Wow, what would it be like for our guys to see Aziz's world, but then also to see Senegal, to see what Africa's like, the whole culture of Africa, and then let them meet us and see what we're about.
Being blessed to have the opportunity to go back and see my family, my mom, sisters. I mean, I was happy, and I couldn't wait to just spend, make the most out of my time over there.
His family weren't the only people happy to see Aziz return. His arrival brought smiles throughout the community where he was raised.
Well, I joke with him and call him, since we've been there, Prince Aziz, because that's what he's like out there. The people just flock around him.
They were just welcomed up with open arms. He had his little brothers and some of his cousins, and it looked like everybody from around the block was there welcoming him back home.
What is it about houses like that?
The view from Aziz's bedroom window was a revelation to his teammates.
So you just see people trying to find shelter and food and work like in any kind of way. People begging for food and stuff. So it was an eye-opener.
I wake up every single day just being thankful of God to give me the talent and the opportunity to survive.
7-foot Aziz started playing basketball with the Nike-sponsored Sports Education for Economic Development Academy in Senegal.
But then I had the opportunity to use basketball and to cross the borders and learn different cultures and different lifestyles and just get an education out of it. I would just look at myself in some point as a role model and an ambassador, because I got to go back and tell those kids, who knows, maybe they be doctors, they be something else, but just tell them about what I lived through and what I've been through, and it takes some amount of steps to get there.
The day that Aziz is not playing organized basketball any longer, mark it in your book. He's going to be successful. Number two, someone's life is going to be affected in a positive way because of what Aziz is doing.
Stay tuned for a story guaranteed to blow your mind when UW360 continues. Welcome back to UW360. Nearly 100 years ago, William Boeing needed aeronautical engineers for his new company and a place to test new airplane designs. That connection continues today in a research facility that's part of the newly named William E. Boeing Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics.
Tucked away behind Guggenheim Hall on the University of Washington campus.
Ready for wind?
Is a little-known place where winds can blow up to 200 miles an hour inside. It's the Kirsten Wind Tunnel, a world-class research facility that's part of the Aeronautics and Astronautics program at UW. This for-profit facility is operated by 2 staff members and about a dozen aeronautical or engineering students.
Wind tunnels are really here to do aerodynamics testing. Aerodynamics is really, really complicated. It's hard to solve the mathematical equations. So the easiest way to do it really is to bring a model of an airplane or a cyclist or whatever thing you want to test and put it in what's called a wind tunnel.
Former UW Aeronautics and Astronautics professor Fred Kirsten designed the tunnel in the 1930s, and in 1939 it was open for business. Early customers included Boeing, Lockheed, and Davis Aircraft Industries, as well as the U.S. military.
Most of our clients are looking for aircraft testing, and that's where most of our money comes in.
The process begins in the test section, where sensors record data and scientists make visual observations.
The aircraft, or your test article, mounts inside the test section, and there's a post that runs all the way from your model down underneath the test section out of the wind, where we have a balance that measures the aerodynamic forces and moments.
The data is then recorded by computer in the control room, where it can be observed and analyzed by customers and engineers. And powering this whole process are the workhorses of the tunnel, the motors and fans.
So this is one of 2 of our wind tunnel fans. So we are a closed circuit double return wind tunnel. So we have 2 circuits where they meet and the flow enters the test section as one.
All right, we're painting.
In addition to computer-generated data, visual observations are extremely useful because air is transparent. Special techniques often need to be used.
And this is where we paint a mixture of kerosene and Day-Glo powder and the stuff called Kentucky ball clay onto the surface of the wing. And when we turn the wind on, the kerosene dries, leaving the powder along the surface. And so you can see along here, it's attached and starting to separate at the back, but you also get some separation here with a reverse flow vortex. So this is where the stall point is starting to develop at 11 degrees angle of attack.
Wind tunnel testing is also an important part of the sports industry. Studying the aerodynamics of an athlete's form, the equipment, even the clothing can help maximize performance. Speed skating, luge, and hockey teams have all used the tunnel. Even Seattle's iconic Space Needle was tested in 1961 to make sure it could withstand earthquakes and windstorms.
The best thing about working here is a really dynamic work environment. So it's never the same job every day.
Stay with us. We'll meet 2 seriously successful young entrepreneurs when UW360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. Back in high school, 2 young men decided it was time to get serious about their lives, and they came up with a business idea. Then, as students in the UW's Foster School of Business, they learned how to make that idea work with amazing success.
This is a story about socks. Crew socks with skylines, designed by 2 young men who started brainstorming business ideas together in 3rd grade.
We knew each other basically from birth. We were born 6 hours apart in the same hospital. Ended up going to the same elementary, middle school, high school, same college here at UW.
Riley Goodman and Jake Director got serious about their entrepreneurial dreams when they were seniors in high school. A friend's car accident convinced them that life was too short to wait around.
He ended up being totally fine, but it was that night. We locked ourselves in Riley's car, said we weren't going to leave till we came up with an idea. I think we were actually sitting there with one sock with a raindrop on it and one sock with the Seattle skyline. Luckily we chose the Seattle skyline and kind of went forward from there.
Riley and Jake pooled their graduation money, sent it to a mill in Turkey, and hoped for the best. It was the beginning of Strideline.
Honestly, when we first saw the socks, we got them through customs and we opened that box up. We started jumping up and down like a bunch of little girls. We went right to a lacrosse tournament that weekend, put a table up. It's just a table, and then Jake and I behind the booth with our socks, and we said, here we go, guys, $6 a pair.
A bunch of moms out there that bought them for their kids. Kids luckily started liking them, and we've kind of improved our sock ever since. All right.
Riley and Jake have traveled the country and the world to find the best place to make the best socks. They're selling in 7 cities around the country, each with its own skyline design. And over the years, they've refined their roles in the business.
Jake peeled off towards the production side of things and working with the mills and whatnot. And naturally, I ended up doing most of the sales and marketing and working with buyers and retail stores and getting the product out there.
It's challenging to manage a business and study at the same time, but the UW's Foster School of Business has a lot to offer these go-getters.
It keeps us really, really busy. But the fact that our classes are relevant to the business, I think is an incredible opportunity. I mean, the things that I'm learning in class are things I'm doing outside of class.
Just looking a little further into our target market, which is Generation X.
As seniors, Jake and Riley are in an accelerated program at the Foster School's Burke Center for Entrepreneurship.
So we started the Jones Milestone Program, now also called the Foster Accelerator, to be able to work with those teams specifically that are close to graduation to help them make the transition from being the student startup team to being the startup company. I love seeing students execute on their plan. It is about economic development. It is about jobs. It is about companies that are born in Washington staying in Washington.
As for Jake and Riley, they see the future clearly, and it involves socks.
We are doing everything we can to produce the nicest socks, the cutting edge socks, and we're traveling all around the world to make sure that we have the newest and the greatest.
For me, it's the craziest ride of my life so far. I love waking up every morning and doing it.
If I were to describe the Strideline experience in one sentence, it'd probably be the best learning / fun / fulfilling experience of my life.
That's it for this edition of UW360. You can catch this episode again on our website at uwtv.org/UW360, where you'll also find links to everything we've covered today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with all news stories from the University of Washington.
Wardrobe for Carolyn Douglas is provided by C'est La Vie, located in downtown Edmonds and in Renton at The Landing.